We've just arrived in Kunming. This is a travel hub for hotspots around Yunnan province. And you know what? It's well connected to the rest of China with daily flights from all major cities. But more importantly, Kunming offers great access to the rest of Yunnan. And if you've only got time to visit one city, well, you might want to make that the region in Kunming. That's because it gives you the bang for your buck in terms of landscape, culture, and people. And on this episode, we'll be heading down south to Honghe. My name is Greta Georges, and welcome to Travelogue.
On this road trip, we plan to cover 10 counties and 3 cities in Honghe Prefecture in southern Yunnan province. On the list are Jianshui, Shiping, Honghe, Yuanyang, Luchun, Jingping, and Hekou. After that, we'll head north towards Pingbian County, Gejiu City, Mengzi, Kaiyuan, Nile, and Luxi. More than 3/4 of Honghe's terrain is mountainous, so it's a winding road trip. It'll be prudent to drive with caution or switch drivers if fatigue sets in. Being the capital of Yunnan province, Kunming is a natural place to make preparations and it's a worthy stop in itself. Cuihu is located in the center of Kunming. This capital city was originally known as Tuodong City when it was founded in 765. Marco Polo, the 13th century Venetian traveler, recorded his amazement with this part of medieval China. Today, it's an important economic, travel, and political hub. With the seat of the provincial government and Southeast Asian nations as its neighbors, trade and culture have added a dash of ethnic color to Kunming's border. Coined the city of eternal spring, Kunming is blessed with a mild climate and blooming flowers, and these birds would agree that it's a safe haven.
Come on! Come on, come on! There you go, buddy. Woo. It's something for everyone. It's a feeding frenzy. It's quite amazing. These gulls come all the way from Siberia to escape the cold, harsh winter. And they're treated like kings here. It's amazing, but Kunming is such a laid-back, cozy city. I wish I could spend a little more time here, but we've got a big road trip ahead of us. I've got to make some preparations.
When it comes to accommodation, you're spoiled for choice in Kunming. Getting around is easy too, with 4 railway stations and rapidly developing highway transportation. But expect things to change. Development is on a roll in this region. Your guidebook might not be accurate, as China is changing so quickly. Be prepared to arm yourself with up-to-date information. For example, Kunming is moving its airport to a new location, while Honghe Prefecture is drawing up plans to build a new airport. So for now, the only way of getting there is via road. What happens if you just got off the plane in Kunming and don't have a plan?
All packed up and nowhere to go? Well, this is Yunnan Tourism Service Center, and they've got all sorts of tour packages for your needs going off to major sites in Yunnan. But if you want to avoid the crowds, you can also rent a car and go off in a completely different direction. And that's exactly what we're going to do, because we're going to get our own ride and head off tomorrow morning. I'm super excited. Good morning. We're all set. All the bags are packed. Couldn't sleep well last night because I was so excited for the trip. But it's about a 3-hour drive to Jianshui. So hopefully I'll be able to rest my head. All right, cameraman, let's go.
Our drive from Kunming will take us down south, passing Yuxi City to Honghe Prefecture in southern Yunnan province. The road conditions here are superb.
You look outside, there are lots of lush green vegetation, and we seem to be surrounded by rolling hills and mountains, and some parts we're just meandering on the road, but it's pretty good because the roads seem to be well paved and kind of new as well. I'm not sure if it's me, but it seems to be getting hotter and hotter as we're going down south, so I'm quite looking forward to having some fun in the sun in Jianshui.
This is Jianshui, an ancient military outpost that exudes an understated, quaint rural charm in this part of Yunnan province. We reach our first stop just before lunchtime. The private garden of the Zhu family was built in 1905, and it's mega-sized residential courtyard by the Zhu clan.
This is a must-see site. It's a private garden of the Zhu family, and admission fee is 50 kwai. But if you stay here, which is a rare treat, they'll actually scrape the admissions fee. So it's settled, crew. We're going to stay here for the night. Let's go. Whoa, this looks like we've stepped totally back in time. Look at the lamp and the intricate carvings on the bedposts. This whole place has this theme about it that extends from the outside to the inside. This dressing table is exquisite. It's any girl's dream, I tell you. All right, let's see what they've got in here. Little sewing kit. It's like you can imagine an old kung fu movie, and there'll be a concubine, and she'll be sitting here in the dresser looking at herself in the mirror. Well, that's not what I'm going to do. Okay, we got to check the bed. Let's see if it's as good as it looks. Okay, this is going to be my crib for tonight. It's pretty good, but we got to put it to the test. The litmus test is actually the toilet, so let's have a look. Wow, this is pretty modern. Got your shower. It looks spanking new. Toilet bowl that gleams, the light of it, and this porcelain basin is really, really quite something. I tell you, I think the Zhu family would never, in a million years, the ancestors would think that, their home could be converted into something like this. I'm really, really happy with this room. It's passed the inspection test. Jianshui is such a sleepy little town, but it's really great because you can just forget about crowds and that tourist season where everyone's flocking up to the north. You have this place all to yourself. I mean, take, for example, this very place. The garden is just spectacular with just the backdrop of this over 100 years old historical cultural relic. I mean, the government believed in it so much, they invested millions of yuan in this. And I believe it just keeps the spirit of Jianshui alive.
The entire courtyard is about 20,000 square meters with 218 pavilions and towers with steep ridges. This natural historical album gives a snippet of the rise and fall of the mighty Zhu clan. It has even witnessed the revolution of 1911 in southern Yunnan. Local artisan shops flank the cobbled streets just outside the Zhu's family garden. You can find semi-precious stones and jewelry, local handicrafts, and Jianshui's famous earthenware. This city was one of the earliest to develop in southern Yunnan, and it's known for churning out scholars. The Han, Yi, and Dai people also called this place their home.
I just got tickets to a local ethnic performance that happens every night here. That should be quite something. Now, this lively street is just outside the private garden of the Zhu family. I think it's getting around dinner time at this point. So before we head to the performance, we're going to be chow time. Come on, let's go.
Before it's called Jianshui, this town was known as Huili, which means vast sea in Yi language. What are also vast are the options and varieties of local food fare. Fresh produce is easily available, most just plucked from surrounding farmlands.
Oh.
Yunnan cuisine is exciting both for the eyes and stomach. Home to a rich diversity of plants and 26 ethnic minorities, the proof is indeed in this melting pot. Southern Yunnan cooking retains the original flavor of the ingredients and goes easy on the sauces. We picked this restaurant for dinner as it's popular and convenient, just a short walk from the private garden of the Zhu family.
Yummy Yunnan food. 来吃吧，吃吧. This is really yummy Yunnan food. That is made with flour, and that's something that you see in Yunnan cuisine. They'll take flours and incorporate them in dishes, and they follow like ethnic minority cooking style. That one as well is flour that's taken from a pear. This is an interesting dish. It looks like an ivory tusk of an elephant, and this is compressed rice cakes. It's called huai. 太好吃了，来吃花。Cameraman, come and join us. It's really good.
Stomachs filled, we walked over to the local theatre to get our cultural fix. The ethnic minority dance showcase promises to be a spirited affair that is well worth your money. Honghe is known mainly for the Han and Yi minorities, but there are others like the Thai and Miao who live on the peripheral, and this might be the first glimpse of their culture, but we're expecting to encounter more on the mountains where they live. This show is over 2 hours long and features the colorful costumes and dances of the Yi, Han and Dao minorities. The themes explored in this tribal song and dance are mainly these three musketeers: filial piety, harvest, and courtship, something that we all can relate to. Jianshui's Han and Yi folk art culture might be flourishing, but this once ancient military outpost has some heavy Han influence. Han customs, way of life, and architectural styles are part of this melting pot. Jianshui is a testament to the synergy and harmony between these different cultures.
Courtyard all by myself. There's hardly anyone here. It's just so beautiful and just peaceful and quiet. I really enjoyed the performance today. You know, they sang about Jianshui's famous tofu, and they were so proud about the rice wine, and the boys were just jumping around. But most of all, they sang about love. I know people pine for love, ache for love, they yearn for it, and it's such a universal theme. I mean, if music and dance was a script to life, romance would definitely be the central theme. That's what I think it's all about. Love makes the world go round. And right now, I'm getting a little chilly, so I'm going to go to bed now. Good night.
We plan to check out Chaoyang Lo, an ancient city gate, but not before this. Breakfast here in this unassuming street joint is pretty hearty, and the rice noodles here are the staple sample for this part of China. This stall has stood the test of time and taste buds.
Nothing like a good hot cooking bowl of butter noodles in the morning before we kickstart our day. Really good chili broth, and this is a really
famous noodle store that's just beside the private garden of the tea.
The quaint charm of Jianshui lies in its old town. That's why Chaoyanglou is a must-see. It was built in the Ming Dynasty during the reign of Hongwu Emperor between 1368 and 1398.
This is Chaoyanglou, and if you think about what Tiananmen is to Beijing, this is basically what Chaoyanglou is to Jianshui. It's the very symbol and emblem of this place, and it's a reminder of its former glory as an ancient military town. But I love the vibe here today. I mean, if you come around, just locals are just doing their thing, you know, and bird watching and selling things, really enterprising. So if you do want to catch a glimpse of the hustle and bustle, this is highly recommended.
There is an unexpected architectural synergy between Tiananmen and Chaoyanglou. Apparently, the disciple of the architect who built Chaoyanglou lent his hand to the construction of Tiananmen. Standing over 3 stories high, this was the original gate tower of Jianshui. Back in the olden days, the opening of this gate was a bit of an affair. 2 copper bells which hang on top of the 24-meter structure were sounded every morning to announce this occasion. Every morning, especially on the weekends, the bird market will be tweeting with activities. It's a fantastic spot to people watch and get a slice of local life here in Jianshui.
I guess boys would be boys. You know, in Spain they had bullfighting, and here, well, they've got bird fighting. The poor little fella. These worms are the very reason why these people are here. I know it's quite hard to believe that, but you see, birds love to feed on worms, and the people are here because they want to engage in bird watching and bird fighting sports. So there you have it. The unsung heroes, very unlikely heroes of Chaoyanglou. Oh, 不会咬人的。不会。
Jianshui's rich history reaches as far back as the Jing Dynasty, from 256 to 420, and it became an important military remote station. Strolling around this 1,000-year-old town gives you a good picture of how the olden days were like.
This is the Confucius Temple, and it's situated at the north gate of Jianshui, and it's just a stone's throw from the private garden of the Ju's family. Now, it's massive inside, huge, only second to the one in Shandong. And if you're here, you should get the ticket that's 133 kuai, so you get to see the Swallow's Cave, the private garden, and this.
The Han culture has been brought over to Jianshui. Erected in 1285, this Confucius temple is built like a palace, and rightly so, for one of the greatest men of China. This temple shaped young minds in this town and even helped to develop intellectual talent. It's a fitting tribute to a school of thought that has strongly influenced other countries like Vietnam, Korea, Japan, and Singapore. Confucius developed an ethical, philosophical, social, moral, and political system to strive for the cultivation of virtue and the development of morality.
In the ancient times, the temple is a school, so many students come here. Every day, it's pocket.
It's being touched.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Okay. Then we put our legs across. Okay. Cool. Oh, Lin Lin just told me that in the olden days they used to wear long robes and they had to gather up their robes before they crossed over the barrier, and they'll be put in this bowing position to show respect for Confucius. Isn't that clever? I thought you should know. You know, Confucius once said that it does not matter if you go slowly, so as long as you don't stop. And I think everyone's on a journey in life, whether they're seeking for love, wisdom, happiness. Confucianism is like a philosophy, and it's woven the very fabric of the Chinese society. So if you're here, this is the second largest Confucius temple in China. You cannot miss this.
The fact that Jianshui retains much of his architectural style from the Ming Dynasty between the 14th and 17th century is a big draw for visitors. The vast, beautiful rural landscape provides little respite for weary city souls, and it's a perfect getaway. Jianshui has a nostalgic magic. It has some 15 ancient buildings spanning 12 centuries of construction, and it's dotted with old wells, which draw fresh water from the basins that Jianshui is famed for.
好，我试一下。哦，你要打水是不是？我可以喝对吧？嗯，有一点甜哦。嗯，肯定甜。Yeah, it's really fresh. It tastes good. I don't know if it's what I've been hearing about the water, or if it really tastes like it, but no, I think it's quite crisp. 这不错，蛮渴的，可以倒多一点吗？你要收钱吗？不收钱的，对吧？好，
咱本地不要你的钱。
Water represents the source of life in Chinese philosophy, and here in Jianshui, there runs a deeper resonance. Locals here are mighty proud of the quality of their water. They would rather drink straight from the well than use the water from a convenient pipe in their homes. Such are the great lengths they will go to in order to savor their town's best treasure.
Isn't that beautiful? And I was just thinking about the fishes in that well, and they're really there to tell people that the water is safe for consumption. You know, we're going to hit the road tomorrow. I'm kind of sad to leave Jianshui. But right now, all I want to do is head back to the accommodation and do some last-minute tour of the private garden, because I haven't seen it enough, you know? So I'm going to get back right now. I'm back now at my home, which is a cultural relic.
Catch the next episode of Travelogue as we visit the legendary Swallows Cave in Jianshui and continue our road trip along Honghe Prefecture.